Hello and welcome inside the Asterix Lounge for another edition of Catching Up with McCreary. I'm Hattrick's broadcaster Doug Lattuca with Hattrick's head coach Billy McCreary and his daughter Aila. Guys, how we doing?
Good.
We're doing well, thank you.
Look at that. Aila speaking for Billy today. Second time Aila has appeared on the show so far. We're happy to have her back. Billy, it's been a little while since we've caught up here in the Asterix Lounge. You guys are coming off a weekend in Winston-Salem where you picked up one of a possible 6 points. Overall thoughts from that weekend against Carolina?
I thought we played some good hockey. I mean, obviously we didn't come away with the points that we wanted, but as far as the process, I thought it was there. I mean, you can argue about the results about game one, but you can't leave it up to calls, right? And I thought we had opportunity to take over the game, and we didn't. And we kind of learned some lessons there. I thought we played some really good hockey, good hard hockey night two, and came back from a 4-goal deficit and kind of just came back short. So the guys showed a lot of resiliency in a tough environment. So I was proud of their effort, and obviously clean some things up and get better results. But that's part of the process.
Seemed like some bounces didn't quite go your way, especially in the first game with the goal being called back. And then you guys had a bit of an issue on their second goal where there might have been a penalty in the corner. Then the following night, just a couple of things where you lose a player due to a questionable hit upstairs. What's the message to the team after those two games? How do you keep your group focused and thinking about, let's just go play hockey. Let's not worry about the officials or some things you really can't control?
Yeah, listen, I mean, this group has been through it before, and that's why they were champions last year. And there's guys in that room that have fought through the Danbury aura that comes with just putting on that jersey, right? And I thought they did a really good job of just kind of staying disciplined and playing through the game. And it's a team that's always going to fight for each other. So even if we're down to 8 guys, you're going to get the scrappiest 8 guys probably in the league that are coming out there. So that's our expectation here, is really proud of their effort. Obviously, we're shorthanded, and the guys really put their best foot forward. And, if we have a deeper lineup, we don't have these roster restrictions. We don't have the heavy hand on the suspensions. Maybe it is a different story, but again, that's part of the process, and we got to focus on what's in front of us.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about what the Hacksters are dealing with this weekend in terms of being shorthanded in their lineup. One guy who you've been with the majority of the season, right? Jacob Ratcliffe had missed 1 or 2 games at the start of the year, but had been in the lineup towards the top of the lineup on the 15-day IR, dealing with an upper body injury. Last weekend, the first time you really had to deal with life without Ratcliffe, who leaves the lineup as the team leader in assists. What changes in the top 6 specifically? How do you make up for some of that scoring and just chemistry that he's built with some of the guys on his line and even throughout the roster on the power play and things like that?
It's a great question. Aila, what do you think of Jacob Ratcliffe? Good hockey player, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, very valuable to our team.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So now everybody else has to kind of step up and pick up for Ratty. We're gonna use different combinations, right?
Uh-huh.
We're gonna try different guys in Ratty's spot.
Yeah.
Does that sound good? But
I want the microphone.
You want the microphone?
Yeah.
You'll get it one day.
Okay.
But Ratty had the microphone for a while, and now somebody else has to take Ratty's microphone. Yeah. But to answer your question, there's a lot of guys in that room that are ready and willing to step into that role. And it's going to be an interesting lineup this weekend. You look at all 3 of our centers that we've been going with all year. We don't have any of them.
Yep.
So it's going to be a bit of a mishmash, but that's hockey. And whether we're playing on a pond or we're playing in the Federal League or the North American League, you got to find ways to have success.
Yeah, no Johnny Ruiz, no Brandon Stoychevsky, and Chase Harwell still out serving that 6-game suspension, will not be with the team this weekend, at least in Elmira. We'll see about the game here at the Danbury Arena on the 10th. A guy who will be in the lineup and who made his debut last weekend, 39-year-old defenseman Dustin Henning. You acquired him from Watertown earlier last week, scored a goal, and you guys were joking about maybe him picking up his second on Saturday. He had a great opportunity right in the mid-slot, just couldn't get it to go. What does he bring on the back end in terms of leadership and just a veteran presence now playing with a guy like Steve Brown and just that defensive corpse that you've got going on?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Henner's just he's a tremendous human being. Going back to, when she was born 3 years ago, we had, a NICU night, and we were a couple $100 short of our goal, and Henner was playing in Port Huron, and he heard that we were $200 short, or I forget the exact dollar amount, but he put forth the rest of the money there so we could meet our goal. And for a captain of another opponent to do that, it just speaks volumes for the type of person he is. And it's something that I've never forgot. And just having him here and his experience in the room, his experience around the game, what he says in the room, what he does on the ice, guys listen and guys follow. So it's tremendous having him here. It was great to see him get that goal in Carolina, and we just want him to be the best version of himself, and that's our expectation of him, and that's what he showed us since he's been here.
He was playing with Yao that second night, especially when he scored the goal. Is that a pair that you like in so far, or are you still figuring out which pieces go well together? And I know the 6 defensemen that were in the lineup last weekend might not even be the same this weekend or moving forward, just because of injury, suspension, things like that. Things are going to change. But it seems like the pairs you had last weekend worked out in some ways in terms of chemistry, and some guys are getting comfortable with each other.
Yeah, I really liked the units that we had last weekend. If you're looking at a playoff roster, I mean, those are some – there's good dynamics on every pair, right? You got offensive guys and defensive guys. You've got guys that can play both sides of the puck. You got physical bodies that are tough to play against. So I really like the dynamic there, but I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Like this weekend, we don't have Steve Brown for the next couple of weeks. So, now things are going to have to shake up a little bit. We're going to have to look at different pairs. ZP's been playing D all year, and now he's going to be playing up front. So, we're going to continue to tinker with things and, find our grade A lineup. But, that's the fun part about my job.
Yeah, we mentioned you guys will most likely be shorthanded this weekend against Elmira. It seems like at different parts of the season, different lines have stepped up, right? The top line has been pretty consistent when it's been Cunningham, Ruiz, and Ratcliffe. The second line, Harwell and Dina Cole at one point had combined in that one weekend series for a couple big goals to lead to a comeback. And then last weekend, it was the third line, right? You mentioned ZP was playing forward. Stoichevsky has picked it up over the last couple games. And whether it's Scully or Zinchenko, one of them has been productive, and that third line has been leading. What did you see from that group in Carolina?
I mean, they just work, and when any one of our lines commits to just working and getting on pucks and establishing our forecheck, all 3 of them can be a first line in this league. And if you go back to our playoff run last year, our best line in playoffs was our third line. So we really want to have a 1A, a 1B, a 1C, and we don't really want to establish a first, second, third line. Because like you said, on any given night, it could be any of those 3 lines that step up for you. So, a lighter roster here this weekend, but, tremendous opportunity for some guys to step in and play in some roles that they wouldn't have previously, and, work to get the job done together.
Gotcha. Aila, we'll keep you involved here.
Okay.
Question for you. All right. What position do you play in hockey?
The right one.
The right wing?
Right wing. You score a lot of goals?
I like that.
Are
Offside.
Are you a righty or a lefty?
Lefty.
Okay.
Lefty.
Okay. Yeah. That transitions us pretty well. We'll step aside from the pro team and talk about the Hat-Tricks Academy, which was launched a couple weeks back. Last week we announced it as an organization. It's an opportunity for 14-year-olds, 15, 16, and 18-year-olds as a developmental academy and a pipeline for the Null team. How important is that for this Hat-Tricks organization to continue to have their hands in different baskets and grow the youth game here in Danbury?
Yeah, I mean, we're really excited. It's something we've been working on here for a couple of years now, and for it to come to fruition this year, it's just perfect timing for us. And, we really believe in the people that we have involved, and for us as an organization, we want to be a fabric of the community. And, having our Federal Hockey League team is great, and it attracts, a lot of fans, and it's something that has been a fabric of this community for a number of years. But, we want to make sure that we're around for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And, youth hockey's not going anywhere. The North American Hockey League certainly isn't going anywhere. And, to continue to offer opportunities for kids to come in, whether they're 6 years old or they're 30 years old, to be able to come here and be challenged and develop within the game of hockey, learn how to be leaders, learn how to be good people. That's what we want to do for our community and for Danbury. So it's an exciting opportunity, and we're thrilled that we're moving forward with it.
The Null Hat-Tricks on the road this weekend against the Maine Nordiques. Your team on the road for 4 of the next 5. You've played a lot of games away from home. The only home game in that stretch is on Saturday against the River Sharks. What's that road mindset, the mentality, just grinding through? Because I've been on a couple of those road trips with you guys. It's definitely a different game day on the road than it is here when you're strolling at 5 o'clock. You were just home, right? You can be a little more comfortable. What's 100%. The difference? How do you get your team ready to go on the road?
It's a little bit more of a workman's-like mentality, and I mean, it's a little bit more of a grind, like you said. But if they want to be pros, it's part of their job, right? And it's something that if we want to be champions, we have to learn to win on the road. So again, yes, ma'am. So these games and these points are extremely valuable, and the experience for our guys too, and learning the process and away from the rink, and when they have to eat, what they have to do to prepare for the bus trip. And listen, we're not. It's not a cushy, first class airplane ride. So you got to learn how to kind of battle through it and grind through it, so you can play your best hockey. So really proud of the guys and the efforts, and them buying into the process here this year. And I think this weekend's going to be a fun weekend for them.
And Saturday night, the 10th, couple of promotions here. We've got Tradesperson Appreciation Night. If you're a tradesperson, you can get a complimentary beverage and ticket. It's also Valentine's Date Night. I'm not sure if you were made aware of that.
I have been.
How do you think that is going to go?
I mean, it's always an event here at Danbury Arena, so I think she's giving us a preview
of what we can see.
What's to come here. But it'll be a fun night. I know there's a lot of love in that locker room. It's a family atmosphere, so we'll kind of bring the fans into that and expand on that love here this coming weekend.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Amy.
The big catch of the night is if you find the love of your life on the 10th during that game, Herm Sorcher and the Danbury Hat-Tricks will allow you to have your wedding free of charge at this venue whenever you want to seal the deal and get married. So it's a special opportunity for anyone looking for love. If you love the Hat-Tricks, there's a connection right off the bat. So a great opportunity for you there. We'll keep this quick on Elmira, right? You guys have had major success against the River Sharks so far this year. You're 3-1, averaging about 5.5 goals a game. Outscored them 22-11. You haven't played them at home yet. You've played them 4 times on the road. On Friday, it will be number 5, and then you return for the first time at home this year. What's led to the success against Elmira, and how do you keep that going this weekend?
I saw my mommy.
You saw your mommy?
I did too.
All right, go ahead.
Soon, you want to?
Go get her.
All right. Ila's got more important things to do. Let's continue here on Catching Up with McCreary. We're talking about the Elmira River Sharks in the matchup this weekend. You guys have had success against them. 3-1 so far this season. You haven't played them at home. You're averaging about 5.5 goals per game against Elmira in their inaugural season. What has led to your success, and how do you keep it going against the River Sharks this weekend?
Well, I just think that the guys have really bought into playing simple road hockey, and it's been a bit of a process for us to kind of get there. But like we've played Elmira on the road every time, and it forces us just to be simple. And like we talked about previously, when we're at home, sometimes we play a little bit looser, a little bit more run and gun. And on the road, you really can't do that because you open up time and space for the team that's at home. They're probably going to take care of it. And on the road, sometimes it's a little bit harder, and you're gripping your stick, and you got the fans in your ear, and sometimes it doesn't just work so easily for you. So, we got to play a gritty game, which we have there prior in the past, and we just have to commit to that. We've got to be a physical team. We got to get in the forecheck. We got to win the wall wars. We got to win the net front battles. And if we can play that gritty game and we can outwork them, our skill should take over.
You mentioned you guys are without your top 3 centers, no Brown. Does the game plan change at all for you guys, knowing that you are shorthanded in terms of your top end scores in some ends and really the backbone, right? The center position that really drives the offense and drives your team's game. Does anything change? You try to simplify things, or you just go out there with the pieces you have and just play the same type of hockey?
I mean, I'm always trying to simplify things, but no, our game plan is not going to really change. We just have to commit to outworking them, being the more physical team, winning battles. If we're possessing more pucks and we're winning those battles to possess pucks, our skill should take over. So, just because we're without some of our personnel, we don't want to change anything. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. We just want to kind of stick to what we're doing, allow guys to step into other opportunities and greater roles, and hopefully those guys are able to step up to the plate. And that's kind of been our motto here from day one, is kind of that next man up mentality, and you have to have that at this level for various reasons: injuries, call-ups, no matter what it is. So we're in that kind of situation here this weekend. It's going to be fun to see what the guys can do with their backs against the wall.
Fill in the blank time. Patrick's come away with 2 victories against the River Sharks, improved their record to 5-1 against Elmira. If
we can keep Elmira to 2 goals or less.
All right, defense and goaltending for the Hat-Tricks, and if they score a couple goals too, that would be nice. Mentioned they're averaging 5.5 against the River Sharks this year. We'll have the broadcast for you Friday night from Elmira. It's a 7:05 puck drop on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. And then we want to see you here at the Danbury Arena. Plenty of promotions. It's going to be a packed night, a very rare home game for the Hat-Tricks before they start 9 straight here in Danbury in a couple of weekends. So we'll see you there